Hi, I'm Arial Italic, and you're watching What the Font. It's the show where together we figure out how little I know about a given topic. Today I want to talk to you about fragrances. Now, last week I specified that none of the companies that I mentioned paid to have their products endorsed by me. This week I do have to let you know that I will be talking about Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, who is a sponsor of Nobody's Watching Wrestling. That said, I have believed fully in their products since before I got this sponsorship, and they did not ask me to make this video. I'm doing it because I like talking to you about fragrances in general, and high-quality products from Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab specifically. With that out of the way, let's talk about how we use smell in our daily lives. When you wake up in the morning, you think about how you're going to fix your hair. You think about the fit of your clothes and the color and maybe how that goes with the makeup you're wearing. You don't necessarily think about the smells you put out other than, say, putting on a deodorant. Similarly, the people that you're talking to aren't thinking consciously about how what they're smelling affects them. So you can use that trigger very subtly to entice or ensnare or even push people away. Because it's like a spell you cast on them. They're not necessarily recognizing the exact thing that's triggering this response, and so you have a certain power if you use it intentionally. So the first thing you want to do is think about the products that you're already using that might be fragranced. You probably have a lotion, or an aftershave, or a hairspray that has some kind of smell associated with it, and you might not have been intentional in choosing it. Or you might have chosen things that smell nice to you, but then limit your options in terms of the other fragrances you can build on top of them. To take control of your scent profile, you want to start by having unscented everything. I have an unscented hair gel, I have an unscented antiperspirant, unscented lotion, all of that, because that way I can be intentional but also free when I choose what I want to fragrance myself with, because I'm not building on top of a layer of something else. Next is figuring out what works for us. Do you want to be a lemon and tangerine kind of smell person? Or maybe you're more into rose and lilac, or cedar and sandalwood. There are a lot of options out there, and this is probably where going to a store is going to come in, because you want to figure out if you're more earthy, or marine, or smoky, or whatever. And there's not just one option. You can be many of those things. You can combine those things, but you want to figure out what works with your body chemistry, what you like to smell like, what other people like to smell on you. Figure it out, play around, and then have a few different paths you can go down. You also want to think about how you can use different fragrances in different ways. I see a lot of people buy one bottle of perfume and that's their go-to, but that's very limiting. I like to have lots of different fragrances for lots of different things. Like, I have performance fragrances that are sort of floral and frilly, but I also have date fragrances, and they're a little musky and subtle. I have everyday fragrances that are kind of citrusy and springy, and I have formal fragrances that are sort of boozy or smoky. There's a different reason for each of them, and each of them makes me feel a different way. So I would encourage you to find several things and to sort of rotate through them. Because in the end, choosing a fragrance isn't just about picking how you smell, it's about picking how you feel. Like, when I put on something with a leather undertone, I might feel like a sexy boss. Or I can wear something with a little more rose to it that makes me feel like a sexy wife. Or I could wear something grassy and feel a little more fun and down to earth. The point is, picking a fragrance is a lot like picking a shoe, because yeah, it changes how you look, but more importantly, it changes how you walk, and that might have a bigger effect on how people perceive you. And now the product pitch, which we knew was coming and I am not apologizing for. Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab makes high-quality essential oil blends that smell amazing. They are all natural, except in rare instances where a vegan option could not be found, in which case they use a synthetic that does not involve any animal products, which I think is a fair compromise. You can go to some of their events in LA, or some of the conventions around the country that they visit, if you want to smell their stuff, or you can order online. I'd recommend the Imp's Ear packs that they sell, so you can get a small collection of samples, test them out, see what you like best, and then buy a full-size bottle of that. And I of course recommend ordering a bottle of Mix Nobody and a bottle of Nobody's Watching Wrestling. They're both excellent. In the end, it doesn't matter what you buy, but buy yourself a fragrance. Hell, buy yourself several fragrances and wear one every day. It will change how you feel, and it will change how others feel about you. I'm Ariel Italic. You're whoever you are. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses.